Your elevation contradicts the lie-identity that they try to put on you. Someone may have known you at a time in your life when you were less fortunate, you weren't as elevated, you weren't as bossed up, you weren't shining as brightly as you are now. But don't get it confused, they knew your potential and that's why they were attacking you so much. But nonetheless, they may have known you during this time and then suddenly you began to sprout up. And the new you contradicted the identity that they tried to place on you. And I never really understood why people did this because we are ever-changing beings. There's no reason why you should think that someone is going to stay the same. There's no reason why you should think or believe that someone who you knew in their teens or their early 20s is going to be the same person in their late 20s going into their 30s. If that person is healthy and has self-awareness, they will most likely evolve, as we all should. Because some people knew you at a time when you were, again, in a less evolved state, but they also knew that you had lots and lots of potential. They saw that you had a way about grabbing the attention in the room. You were extremely magnetic. They knew that you were destined for something great. People knew this about you when they met you in whatever stage you were in the past. And they created this box for you to stay in. And I can't tell you how many boxes I've broken out of at this big age of mine. And I know a lot of you can relate. People create these boxes for you and they want you to stay in these boxes because it makes them feel good about themselves. If they can say, yeah, she's still the girl that makes a lot of mistakes with men, and if she's the same girl that, doesn't take care of herself, she lacks self-care. If I keep her in that box, that means that, in some way, shape, or form, I can level up past her and she'll stay in that box. Or if I keep her in this box and I make her adopt this identity that I'm projecting onto her, I will feel better about myself because while she's in this box that I put her in, or while she's in this identity that I put her in, I can become someone else and try to, beat her before she gets to where she's supposed to go. And this is where you start to fall out with people, ladies. You may have wondered to yourself, hey, why is it that, me and this girl were really close at one point, or me and my family member were talking all the time, and then all of a sudden when life started getting good for me, this person was acting unusual. This person started making really strange comments, and this person pulled back their love and support. Well, that's because the lie-identity is shattered. The lie-identity is shattered. The lie-identity is a identity that someone puts on you to cope with their feelings of lack, to cope with their feelings of insecurity, to keep you in a box, and to subconsciously condition you to believe something that is not true about yourself. And a lot of narcissists do this, a lot of sociopaths do this, a lot of insecure, deeply insecure people do this. And when it comes to the conversation of beautiful women and boxes and identity, we are no stranger to this. I think we are more of the victims of these types of things more than anyone. Your beauty brings out like a really strange ugly in people. And one of those ugly traits is projection, Some people who encounter striking beauty and a good, pure heart, like just a decent human being attached to also a beautiful face, they cannot fathom how someone could be this way. Like they can't fathom having the beauty you have and also being a kind-hearted person. If they had your face, if they had your body, they would be terrorizing their community, their city, their state, probably the world, okay? They would be using their powers for evil. But because you have a good heart, you are kind, you have a bomb personality, maybe you're funny, and then on top of that, you are stunning, it doesn't match up with, their idea of what beauty looks like, right? Because again, these people don't have pretty privileges, or they don't have the level of beauty you do, so they can't fathom what it's like to be you. So they make all these generalizations and they have these strange ideas of how pretty women should act, right? So when you don't match up to their expectations, or when you contradict what they thought of you or what they believed you should be like, you see projection. You see them try to put a false identity on you so that they can tarnish your reputation, make people believe things about you that aren't true, and ultimately just make it so that you kind of forget who you are. I've had to deal with a lot of smear campaigns in my time, ladies, and I can tell you from experience, the best ways to combat these people is to continue to elevate, because eventually the higher you go, the more your elevation will contradict whatever identity they're trying to put on you. You know, think about it this way. Maybe in college, you had the face, you had the body, but maybe you didn't have the money yet. Maybe you didn't have the career yet. Maybe you didn't have the man yet. Maybe you didn't have the car or the things that people say makes you successful and desirable, right? They knew your potential, they saw your potential, and it wasn't uncomfortable for them then. So you may have known this person in college when you were at a certain level, right? And they put you in this box and they were super comfortable with where you were at. Suddenly they see you 3, 4, 5 years after school. You had your big girl job, you're making your big girl money, you're driving your big girl car now, you're married or you're engaged or you have a man in your life. You are just blessed, right? Because you did things the right way, you played your cards right, you were strategic. As beautiful women, we have to be strategic in this life if we want desirable outcomes, if we want favorable outcomes, if we want to have peace and stability. We have to move with tact. We have to be tactical. We have to be strategic. So because you played your cards right, which I feel like that shouldn't offend anyone, but because you played your cards right, you had a certain deck of cards that were dealt to you and you did what you needed to do with it, and your life turned out differently from this person, they're going to feel uncomfortable because whatever identity or box they had you in when they knew you at that place where you were less evolved doesn't match who you are today. And you elevating contradicts whatever identity they try to put you on. The identity of, oh yeah, she's pretty, but she's an airhead, or oh yeah, she has a nice body, but she's just good for a quick moment in bed, or whatever identity, or shall I say lie-dentity they try to put you on. Your elevation will always chop down that projection. It will always chop down and contradict whatever box or identity they try to put on you. So that is how you fight back against people like this, ladies. People who can't stomach your successes, can't stomach you being in a better position than them, can't stomach your beauty and how far it's taken you, because a lot of us are using our beauty for money purposes, to make money, to get opportunities. We are using our privileges. So a lot of people can't stomach how you've gotten to where you are. And the best way to fight back against these people and really rub it in that, your box that you put me in does not matter, is your elevation. This is why I talk about looks maxing on this channel, and I talk about always advocating for yourself to get the best opportunities. I talk about this all the time because this is how you ensure that whatever attacks or outside noise comes your way, it will not fall near you, it will not affect you, because your elevation is so loud and so large that the people at the bottom or the people trying to reach up and grab you to pull you down won't be able to reach you because you're so far past their nonsense. So ladies, I hope this helps somebody who has been struggling with, just feeling like, hey, I'm being tarnished, my name is being dragged through the mud, or, this smear campaign has been going on for so long. Keep elevating on these people. Keep rising up. Keep becoming the best you can ever be, and you will start to see how far away you go from people's identity, and then soon they'll just look like a fool for still holding on to that fake, false identity of you. Soon they'll realize, oh my God, I can't keep trying to, keep her in this box or hold on to this identity that I've created for her because she doesn't match it anymore, and I will look like a hater if I continue to hold her to this standard. So ladies, drop down in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll also be leaving my email in the description box so you can share your stories there as well. Have a lovely day, ladies.